Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator, and what I got here looks like a Winchester, feels like a Winchester, levers like a Winchester, not a Winchester, but still a Winchester. Wait, what? What does that even mean? All right, so let's talk about the poor man's lever action rifle. As you can tell, this, just from looking at it, looks kind of crude looking. I mean, this was pretty cheap. You know, you can get these a lot cheaper than you can an actual Winchester 1894, because this is a Sears Model 54. It's a Sears catalog from 1968. It lists the base Sears Model 54 at $81.99 and the base Winchester 94 at $89.95. Just a little bit of a difference there. Now, from my research, today's estimated prices, the Model 54 would go around $500, and a 1965 to 1980s Winchester 94 would probably go around $750. The Sears and Roebuck company started selling these in their store and in their catalogs around 1965, all the way up until about the 70s, and I think they even had them in store. They were still selling them in their store in the 80s. So did Sears actually copy and produce a Winchester design? No, that's not what happened. They got with Winchester to make a lever action rifle for them. It's kind of like when you go to the grocery store and you see a name brand cereal, and then you also see the slightly cheaper store brand cereal. Well, this is like a store brand cereal. And for those of us that grew up eating store brand cereal, pretty much didn't mind it, is what we got, and we ate it. Oh yeah, and if you're finding value in this video, be sure to pulverize that like button and subscribe for the algorithms. Really helps out with the channel. Now, what are the differences between this lever action, the Sears Model 54, versus a Winchester 94 from around the 70s? Well, let's kind of go a little bit more in depth and take a closer look at these things. All right, well, this is an example of a post-64 Winchester 94. It's going to be a little different from your pre-64 Winchesters because they implemented some cost-saving measures. Your pre-64s are probably the most desirable because of your stylization and just overall quality. And if you compare all three here, you can see the pre-64 versus the Model 54 versus the post-64. The thing that stands out the most here is the wood on the Model 54 compared to the other two. There's no staining and it's just plain Jane wood. Other than that, the pre-64 was blued, while the post-64 and the Model 54 were kind of like a blackened, painted black almost, it looks like on the Model 54. This was due to a change in the metal composition on anything post-64, so that would also include the Model 54. Your pre-64 is going to also have a different layout of internal components, and that's why if you look at the screw arrangement on the receiver, the two screws there above the trigger guard are at a diagonal setting, whereas the other two have it pretty much vertical. Another thing about the wood handguard on the front is it has a metal cap. In 1965, when Winchester changed their receiver, changed some of the components in the inside, they also changed the metal components that made up the receiver, and that also called for a new type of finish on the metal, and this one kind of just looks like it was painted black. As far as the bolt goes, it does look blued, and it does look like it's the same essentially. All the components here look the same. The lever design looks the same. The barrel band on the front looks a little too stout. The front sight post, pretty basic front sight post, and paired with your pretty basic rear sight post, it's not like a Winchester 94 with a buckhorn sight. It's just pretty basic sight. And let's not forget about the butt plate here. It's just a piece of metal. It's not even finished. It's got some texturizing there, but yeah, just a piece of flat metal. One other thing here about this is that it looks like it's been tapped for a scope. On the barrel here, you'll see where it says Sears in pretty big letters. You can't miss it. This is a Sears Model 54 caliber 30-30 Winchester, Sears Roebuck and Company, model number 273.811. Now that model number 273, the number 273 is a Winchester designation, which means this rifle was made at the Winchester factory. And of course down here you'll see the serial number on the bottom, and this one starts with a V. All right, it actually kind of makes me want to go test fire this thing out. So this is the first time I'm test firing this. So let's see what it does. Well, let me know what you guys think. Not as elegant as a Winchester, but still reliable, trusty, lever action design, and gets the job done. If you like this kind of content, share it with your compadres. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.